Welcome to At the Table with Chef Jay, the podcast where we believe that every meal has a story, and every story has a seat at the table. I'm your host, Chef Jay, and today we embark on a culinary journey through the heartwarming realm of cherished memories and delectable dishes. In each episode, we dive into the nostalgic world of our guests' favorite childhood foods, from the comforting aroma of Grandma's kitchen to the sizzle of a beloved family recipe. We're here to unravel the tales behind the tastes that have lingered in our hearts. Today's guest is Savory, chef and the owner of Sweet and Savory Chef. She'll be preparing her favorite childhood meal, Grandma's Evelyn's Crabmeat broccoli casserole. Could you share with us the story behind this dish?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having
I'm
me.
so honored to have you.
Oh, casseroles. Casseroles have always been a big thing in Grandma's house. Whether it's a breakfast casserole, a mac and cheese is a casserole, squash casserole, you name it, it's a casserole. And I still love casseroles today, but for health reasons, don't do them as often and don't use as many heavy ingredients. But my grandmother actually was a member of Mount Carmel Baptist Church in Seabrook, South Carolina. And so there's a cookbook that they came out with. It's called the Mount Carmel Women's Cookbook from the Cookbook Ministry and the Women's Ministry. And she gave it to me a couple of years ago in a box. And I found her name in it. And I said I can make it.
I love it. I tell you, casseroles are a staple food. It's almost like putting everything in a crock pot, but just you put in a dish. And 9 times out of 10, they use cheese in it.
Every time.
So casseroles, I guess that's the meaning of it, to be cheesy, right?
Oh, yeah. That was good, coming home from work.
Yes.
Just throw it all in the pan, let it go, and then the family's fed.
Right, that's it. And it's so easy and convenient, and then you have everything in it. You have your protein in it. You have sometimes you have your carbs in it. You have your veggies in it in one dish. And it's very filling.
That's the best way to eat vegetables.
Yes, that's right. I love it. I tell you, that is amazing. So tell us a little bit about how you prepare the dish and put it together for us.
Okay, so this is a really, really simple recipe. And so I'm just going to run through it.
Okay,
it won't take long.
Let's tell us about your ingredients.
So we have bread. The recipe calls for sliced bread, but I like baguettes. So I used to buy French baguette and cut the crust off of it. We have milk, mayonnaise of your choosing, crab meat, sharp cheddar cheese, broccoli, hard-boiled eggs, believe it or not, instead of using raw eggs as binding agent, an egg, half an onion, some parsley, and then you want a little salt and pepper.
Okay,
and that's
let's
it.
See how you put it together for us.
So the first thing I'm going to do is cut the bread, because the bread is supposed to soak for about 30 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and just cut it into some cubes.
One thing about baguettes and French baguettes is a little bit more dense than regular
It is.
bread.
And you can soak it for 30 minutes. You can soak it for an hour, 15, 20 minutes. It does matter. But with the baguette, it keeps a little more of the form. And so once it's mixed, it doesn't turn into mush, which is important to me.
Same thing almost like with bread. Then, you want to find something that has a little consistency.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
lately I've seen they've been making it with brioche bread, which I think is kind of soft, isn't it?
It is. I make them with cinnamon rolls, Krispy Kreme donuts, French toast, whatever. Anything that's bread.
Right.
So after you get some bread cubed up and put it in a bowl, you're going to add some milk and then mayonnaise.
Okay, so that whole milk?
I use lactose-free whole milk because I am lactose intolerant.
Gotcha.
But I like cheese.
Okay.
And then whatever the mayonnaise of your choosing.
Okay.
And you're going to mix it up. And then you would normally cover this up and put it in the fridge for about 30 minutes. And I'm using a spatula instead of a spoon or a fork because I don't want to mush up the bread.
Right. I like that spatula.
Yeah. And I use a mini spatula because they're cute.
Right, they are cute. And I like them.
So what I would normally do after that is rinse off parsley to get some of the sediment off. So we're going to go ahead and chop some parsley. And then we're going to chop onion and keep on rolling from there.
And I tell you, a lot of times with doing dishes, I think herbs is one of the things. That's one thing I know from growing herbs. So it just gives so much flavor and depth to it.
It really does. And the freshness and fresh herbs are a lot easier to come by than most people think. So you can have rosemary growing in your backyard, not even realize it. I have a little basil plant. I didn't think it was going to make it, but it's lasted for about 6 months. So
you know, the basil will come back at the end, you know, like when it's cold, it comes back.
So I got it in winter,
Mm-hmm.
and I wasn't doing too great. And somehow, with a lot of love.
Yeah, it dies out and then it comes back.
Yeah.
As long as the frost don't freeze it too much.
So there's our
Parsley
parsley.
smells so good. Oh,
And I like using curly parsley because it's very forgiving. With flat parsley, it isn't so much.
right.
So now we're going to chop our onion. Everyone chops it how they like. I learned this technique when I was in culinary school.
What school did you attend?
I went to Central Piedmont Community College.
Okay, in Charleston?
Charlotte.
Okay, yeah. There used to be, well, it's one in Charleston too. I wanted to come there.
Don't start me lying.
I think that's Trinidad Tech. I think that's what it's at.
Yeah, Trinidad Tech.
And then my son went to one of the schools down there. They had culinary school. That's why I moved to Charlotte.
Yeah, you know, I've been looking for some culinary programs here at Columbia so I can get involved with them. You know, maybe be able to offer some intern opportunities for some students, the way it was for me when I was in culinary school.
I'm going to intern right now.
Yeah. Oh, I would love that.
Okay.
So you would normally go ahead and mix the crab meat in. But what I've learned is, same with the crab cakes, you don't want to add it in until a little bit later.
Okay.
So I'm not going to do that. So in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and mix some eggs.
Okay. That is so interesting. I like what you're going to say that you use eggs normally as raw, but you boil them. So tell us why you choose to do it.
That's what Grandma said.
I love it. Oh, Grandma had it right. I'm telling y'all. That dish looks
I was
amazing.
there looking at the recipe and I'm like, boy, hard-boiled eggs in a casserole. It doesn't make any sense.
That's amazing.
So this is how I cut my eggs for potato salad.
That's what Grandma used to cook it too.
Tuna.
That's right.
I mean, I don't know how else to do it without making a
Yes.
huge mess.
Right.
And I don't know why. I guess it was just more convenient.
Mm-hmm. That's what they used to cut. Now, you know about that memories with me for that, because I remember my mom and my grandma cutting eggs in their hand. I never thought about, you know, we have the egg cutters that you put it in, just mash it down. And that's it.
Yeah, and I don't have one. I don't have one. I either make a mess all over my cutting board or I just cut it in my hand.
It's working.
So you can cut these either fine or you can cut them nice and thick. It's all up to you.
Awesome.
And so from here, let's mix this. And then we're gonna go ahead and start layering. So we have the egg, the onion, and the parsley in the bowl. Now the bread mixture is gonna go in. I'm gonna go ahead and mix that up. And this is why I didn't want to put the crab in,
Right.
because I don't want it to get broke up. This is a mixture of lump crab and claw. So I like to use my hands, so.
But that, you know, the hand is the best too.
It is. I'm just gonna fold it in there lightly. Very, very lightly. And just for tradition's sake today, I'm not gonna add any salt and pepper because that's not what the recipe called for.
Okay, that's interesting.
So-
They didn't have salt. I guess the cheddar cheese have a lot of salt.
But now we know these days you wanna layer in your flavor.
Right,
So
that's
we would
right.
put salt and pepper in there somewhere.
Right.
So now we're gonna go ahead and layer in some broccoli.
Was it broccoli frozen or fresh?
This was frozen.
Okay.
I actually got steam in the bag. You can use fresh, you can use frozen.
I like how you drain it. You took all the
Oh
water
yeah,
out of it.
absolutely. I drained it. I didn't season it, just left it as is. Drained it for a good bit. Set it on a piece of parchment, try to get a little more
Yeah.
moisture out. And so from here, just add in your mixture.
So
And
what
don't
did
work
they
on
used to
that
serve
cheese.
this with? That you know what they used to serve it with?
Salad.
Okay, I'm telling you,
Salad.
that's what I tell people all that. Salad is
Salad.
the quick fix for everything.
Salad, bread, sweet
Mhm.
tea.
There you go.
It's a great potluck dish. And the cool
Yes.
thing about this is, until I saw that cookbook, I never knew something like this existed.
That smells delicious.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So I worked on a rendition of this for dinner parties. You know, 'cause I want to try to bring grandma in, but
That's
also,
right.
you know, modernize the recipes, make them more approachable. Because I don't, unless you're from maybe I think the 80s is when the cookbook came
Right.
out, then you might not be interested in a crab meat casserole.
Right.
But
Well,
you know,
kind of reminds me of tuna milk.
it does, like a tuna casserole.
Mhm. which of course crab we know is more expensive than food.
So I was like, Grandma, how was your money back
That's
then?
okay. There's much
Yeah,
expensive.
crab on
I'm telling
here.
you. I love it.
So you could add the cheese on top first, or you can add it on after. It go in the oven for 325 for about 40 minutes. I bake it with the cheese on because I want all the grease and all the salt to seep through, and then add a little more cheese if you want. The more modernized version, I'd add some pepper, maybe some tomato or something, just to beef it
It's
up.
so delicious. I can't wait to try it. So tell us a little bit about what you do, who you are, how we can find you, social media handles.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm Chef Desiree Kinker, the sweet and savory chef. New chef here in Columbia from Charlotte, North Carolina. I am classically trained. I do have a personal chef service underneath the name, the Sweet and Savory Chef. LLC is Sassy Services LLC. We also have Sassy Sweets, which you can find at Lick Ice Cream and the Baked Potato Factory right now. So you can find our sweets, and then you can also get the savory for dinner parties.
What was your social media handles?
Oh, at the Sweet and Savory Chef on Instagram and the Sweet and Savory Chef on Facebook.
It's been an honor, pleasure to have you on
been
our
so much
show.
fun.
I tell you. So we'll see you at the table, and I'm gonna let you know, guys, and let you know how it tastes. Thank you. Welcome back. We're sitting here with Chef Desiree Kinker. Before we taste your dish, what does food and family mean to you?
Well, family, first off, means beginnings, never endings. Whether someone passes, whether there's someone born, whether you fall out, it never stops.
That's right.
So it's always a new beginning. And food to me has been everything. I grew up a military brat. And so when my parents would deploy, I would stay with my grandparents in Beaufort, South Carolina. And, church, music, food, that was it. And the best memories I have with my family all rotate around food, always.
I remember so well when my husband, they used to, all his cousins, they would come from all these different areas, and they would just enjoy, eat, and then by the time they're leaving, everybody throwing rocks and hitting each other. So just they get together, but they did it Sunday after Sunday.
Don't let it be the
And I'm
table.
telling you, with my family, I remember so well, having a rocking, I don't know if I remember the old rocking
Oh, yeah.
on the porch, and I remember pound cakes for my grandmother and stuff like that. So,
Pound cakes, yes.
so before we're gonna try your dish, and we're gonna let you guys know how. This is so good and interesting, and it just looks so hearty,
I'm excited.
Oh my
Because
goodness,
it's
look
just
at that.
grandma. It's like I'm looking at it and it's nothing but grandma.
That's amazing. I tell you, our ancestors really did, left a lot of mark, and a lot of were, losing it. So that's why we want to just give honor to them and the hard work they put into food and dishes and, work. So let me try this, guys. I know how it tastes. It's like a crab cake with popping cheese and onion. Delicious. And the egg, all of it just comes together. And then I could see how the bread and the milk does bind.
I called grandma today just to verify
Yeah,
everything on food.
So stuff is amazing, okay? Delicious. My mouth full. But before we say goodbye, don't forget to show some love. Hit the like button, share the joy with your friends and family, and of course, subscribe. And thank you for joining us. Thank you. We're honored to have you. Absolutely.